What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Daily Sean. For those of you who haven't been here before, my name is Sean. I do a daily video on something related to nursing. No rhyme or reason. Probably not going to change. One take vlog again. I'm liking the idea of one take vlogs because the pressure is on. You would think after doing this for over half a year that I'd figure it out and not need to edit, but it still happens. Today's topic is nurse pro tip. Nurse pro tip for today, or nurse life, nurse pro tip. Take your pick. Nurse pro tip for today, become a professional label maker. You as the nurse need to become a professional label maker. No, I'm not saying you need to go buy one of those label makers that look cha-ching, 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 that cuts it and take off the tape and, you know, not that kind of a label maker. Talking about label everything that you have to interact with. Label syringes. Anytime you pull up medication, you know you're going to go into a room with multiple syringes. You pull up medication of a beta blocker like a low pressor. Then you pull up another medication for pain medication. And unless you have pre-planned and drawn them up in separate sized syringes, which I used to do, hey, that could be a pro tip. Bonus pro tip. We'll come back to that in a second. You want to label all of your syringes before you go into the room because, God forbid, you actually forget what's in the syringe. You want to make sure and label your IV machines. Take a little piece of tape. We all have tape. Or the clear tape. Or you can get the label makers that go on the IVs. Take your pick. You just need to get a piece of tape and write on a piece of tape what's actually on the pump. Most of the time, the pumps nowadays actually give you the readout on the screen, but I don't know about you, it's some sort of scrolling thing that becomes really annoying. So you put a piece of tape over the front of the IV machine on the module so that you know what you're dealing with. And lastly, label anything else that you're going to manipulate. IV tubing. If you're going to manipulate IV tubing on a regular basis, label the living shit out of it. Label it wherever there is a leur-lock port. Especially label it for where it is next to the patient. IV connected to the patient, the very first leur-lock is where you need to label it. You need to label it anytime that there's Y-ported of two separate IVs. You need to label the living shit out of that one too. Because guess what? In an emergency situation, you're going to need to know, I have a med to give. Where can I give it? Instead of playing the spaghetti string follow back through thingamajigger-bobber, where you have to walk your IV from, well, I put an IV in the machine here, and it goes here, then it's wrapped around here, then it's spaghetti around here, then it's tied around here, and then it goes this IV. Okay, there's that IV. Hold on to that one. I'm going to go get to the other one. Top of the IV, roll it on down, twisting around, left and right, underneath an arm, around the blood pressure cup, through the blood pressure tubing, and okay, there's that second one. You get the point. You need to label your shit. Make sure you label it. You're going to make life so much easier for yourself throughout your shift and in an emergency. Bonus pro tip. Thought of it while I was chitter-chattering. Whenever you're drawing up medications and you're going to draw up more than one medication that has to be in a syringe, make sure you draw them up in separate sized syringes. So for one medication, you draw it up in a 3cc syringe. If you actually have those. The next medication you're going to draw up in a 5cc syringe. The next medication you're going to draw up in a 10cc syringe. You get the point. Insulin, that's fairly easy. Most of the time, if I'm not mistaken, we still use the same kind of insulin syringes, right? The sub-Q needles. you know, it's been a while, so I just want to make sure I haven't missed out on that one. But any other medications, for those of you who work in the ICU, in the ED, in the PACU, things like that, or heck, even on the regular floors, this can happen on the med-surg floor, all kinds of IV medication, label them. I said label already. See, this is why I don't know if this one-take vlog's killing me, guys. It's killing me. You want to make sure and change the size of your syringes, because if you draw up 3 separate medications all in a 5cc syringe, you're going to walk into the room and you're going to go, oh shit, what's what? Because the last time I checked, certain medication is not compatible with others, and you could crystallize things. And that, from what I've read, is sort of a bad thing. So you don't want that happening. Pro tip today, with a bonus, all about being the professional label maker. Let me know what you think. You know I want to hear your comments. Leave them down below. Your comments are my caffeine. Share this with someone. Anyone. A nurse to be, someone who's graduating. Share this with anyone that will benefit. And as always, check your own pulse first.